HTC Tribe, what's going on? So this woman in Grady County was arrested after a wellness check. What is a wellness check? Is that new? Is it like, are you nuts? Or is it like, you aren't wearing a mask? Okay, get in the vehicle. Cops are being doctors nowadays, sick. But this woman was originally arrested because she was found crawling and barking in the yard. No, it was not her dog. She was crawling and barking. Look, I get some people are into some really weird stuff, but if you're doing that on your front yard, someone's gonna call someone for you. Like, this isn't your bedroom, this isn't role play, like you're in your front yard in grass. Anyways, they put her in a vehicle and they quickly learn a very important lesson as a police officer and just being a gun owner. So this woman is clearly on some meth or something like that. But she's sitting in the back seat and she ends up slipping her cuffs. Now, this is an art that some people understand. It's not one that I do because I have huge fucking hands, but people have been known to do this. Whether they have an escape and evasion kit inside the waistband of their jeans in their back to where they can fiddle around and find it, handcuff, keys, shim, whatever it may be. But anyways, she gets out of them. Here you can see her looking around for a Diet Coke or maybe a meth pipe. We really aren't sure yet. So here you can see her getting out of the cuffs, and this is an SUV. So it's not like a cruiser to where the back seat is guarded by that steel frame. As you can see, it's behind her. You should have put her in the trunk, man. No, you would have for sure been on the news for treating her like an animal. Oh, wait a second, she was barking in her yard, so you may have gotten away with that one. Anyway, so she reaches through a partition and she accesses a switch to his gun locker and she finds an AR-15. And then I think what happens is I think she just gets distracted and she's like, man, this thing is pretty cool. She starts messing around with the weapon mounted light. Darling, it's daylight. You don't need that on. So then she touches the charging handle. You're close to getting there. At this point, she's just ready to go. Now you may be thinking, what is she gonna do with this? Is she going to just take the stock and hit a window out? That would be what would make sense because you're just gonna catch an extra charge as far as trying to resist arrest or flee arrest. But you know, if she was crawling around on her yard, barking, she probably didn't have that good a competency right now. So here you can see her about to start firing. You can see the handcuff that she shimmed out of, and she has no clue what she's doing. She's just putting the gun on the side and just firing it. It's extremely concerning that someone, even if they got out of their handcuffs, can reach for a deadly weapon. Whatever you need to do to figure that out, whatever this sheriff's office needs to do to figure out how that can never happen again would be a good training for this week. You don't have a lock? So then we go outside and we can actually see this whole thing go down. And it is frightening to say the least on the reaction of it. Obviously being shot at is gonna be frightening, but the reaction to how this went down is astounding. First shot goes off. It grazes a guy. And the deputy says, "What was that?"
Ow! What was that? Ow!
When's the last time you shot a gun, sir? It's a pretty distinct sound. Unless you got a suppressor on it, but then it's still not even that different. Were some kids blowing off some fireworks around here? Oh no, someone's having some car trouble down there. That's what it was. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I think this deputy got grazed as well. And they're real lackadaisical about it. They don't understand what's going on, and that's fine.
Oh, man, Danny, I'm hit right here. I'm hit? Yeah. I'm hit right here too, Danny. Hit in the head. 2615 County, we got shots fired up here. We need backup immediately. Start EMS. Start EMS.
They probably don't understand because of how unrealistic this situation is. Someone getting out of cuffs, maybe this dude forgetting to lock up his gun or secure it or put her in the back to where she cannot reach for it. Maybe all that's slipping his mind and they would have just never guessed that it came from inside of their car. But nonetheless, the reaction. So if they didn't figure it out on the first one, they for sure haven't figured it out yet. This lady shoots one off that you saw, probably completely blows her ears out because she's in a contained vehicle. And I don't know if you've ever shot an AR-15 without earplugs in, but it's not pleasant, even outside. Inside, I can't imagine. Probably straight up go deaf. But I think she manages to just say, fuck it, and then she just lets off a whole bunch.
We got a civilian hit. What the heck?
She get out of her cuffs?
No.
But I don't know if y'all heard this, but the civilian said, did she get out of the cuffs? And the cop said, no. How do you know? How do you know if she didn't? So this woman ends up being barricaded in her vehicle for several hours until they finally arrest her. So the reason why I comment on these videos is because this doesn't help our whole issue with gun control right now. A politician would take this and say, oh, if a police officer can't even handle owning one, what do you think a civilian's doing? I'm here to tell you that this is total crap, and it is a result of terrible training, terrible tactics, and terrible critical thinking. Here is the greater point, I think. When someone is currently engaging you with deadly force, you meet them with deadly force, meaning that you pull out your gun and you start firing back. It's the only way to get them to stop or to lay down some cover fire so you get the civilians the fuck out of there. Neither of these officers ever pulled their guns out this entire time. Now, some of you may be wondering, why wouldn't they pull their guns out? Well, there could be a few reasons. One, they didn't know where it was coming from because this guy was so certain that this woman did not get out of her cuffs. And two, it may be the day and age we live in. Police are scared to do their job correctly because if you are not perfect, you're done. Everyone's got phones. Everyone can record, but that's just part of doing the job nowadays. So you gotta go and do every single call thinking, I don't give a fuck that you have a phone. We need to handle business. And this was just a terrible situation. Luckily, the officer and the civilian who was shot did not die. They easily could have if this woman had any intelligence in her.